Hi, Year 6, and welcome to today's maths, second in 4 lessons on geometry. Set your book up, date and learning objective. Where possible, please use the book. I do understand that with this particular unit, sometimes you don't want to copy out all of the drawings, all of the grids. I understand that. But where possible, write in your book. 4 quadrants. So yesterday we had 1 or the first quadrant, and now we're building up to all 4. So let's get ready for a review of the previous day's learning. Let's pause the video, read the questions, and have a go. I'm just going to go through a few things. Mute me if you just want to concentrate and do it quietly on your own. Otherwise, listen. And for those people who are sometimes finding the maths a little bit hard, remember you can pause and rewind and revisit and make notes. So the coordinate of point A, this is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. How do you write it? This is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. How do you write that? Plot the coordinate. Do we start here or here? It's going to make a difference. Same with this one. So what's the order? Is it x across and then y? Or was it y and then x? And then join the points and name the quadrilateral. What's a quadrilateral? Quad, 4. So 3, 3. 9, 6. So that one better demonstrates that you start with the x-axis. Look at the brackets. Look at the comma separating the coordinate points. So we're going for 4, 6. There's 4. There's 6. You can do that yourself. Draw a ruler line. So go up the x-axis and the y-axis, and this is the intersection here. Two, 3, 4. What's that called? Parallelogram. Let's move on. So we're going to explore together now. Here we have the 4 quadrants. Just pause and have a think. How are they numbered? Yesterday we were here in the first quadrant, and there's our A and our y-axis, both positive axes. Don't need to put a symbol plus because we know these numbers are positive, as distinct from a number that's negative, which actually has a negative symbol there. So first quadrant, where do we go next? Second quadrant, anti-clockwise. Third quadrant, fourth quadrant. Pause the video and have a look at these. Make some notes. We've got in the first quadrant, both the x and the y-axis are positive. In the second, the y is positive, but look at the x, it's a negative. In the third quadrant, they're both negative. So what does that tell you if you had coordinates that are negative, negative? going to have to be here. Here we've got a positive and a negative. So if we've got two positives, we're here. If we've got a negative and then a positive, we're here. Two negatives, we're here. What about this one? That's right, a positive and then a negative coordinate. So if this is the x-axis, we got a correspondence here, 3 and 3. Does that mean this is going to be a 4? First quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. Here we go. On this y-axis, it's going to be a negative number. -4. Again, move on if you're ready. If it's not quite making sense, pause it, have a look at it, think it through, go at your pace. Okay, plot these points. So year 6, you now know really clearly it's x and then y. Draw your lines. Draw a line. Follow that line up. Follow that line across with a ruler. This is the point at which they would meet. Is it going to be 3, -7? So it's -7 first. It's the x first, then the y. Well spotted. I think I've got this now. This is the x. So if I draw a line here, -6, -5. Yeah, -6, -5. Yay. And this one over here. So this is the x. I'm 8. This is the y. -7. Yeah, I'm feeling good about this now. Have a pause, have a look at it, if that's what you need to do. Freeze it on screen, look at them, print it out if you want. Do checkpoint. So this will help you decide whether you're going to begin on step 1 or go beyond step 1 at the beginning of this independent session. If a coordinate has 2 negative values, it will be in the lower left quadrant. So the lower left quadrant is the 1, 2, 3, the third quadrant. Okay. Sketch it out. Have a look. I think that is correct. I'm fairly sure that's correct. Let me have a little think about this. Help me out. I think, obviously, I'm going to have a little bit of a sketch. It's not going to be as good as yours. Oh, so this is the first quadrant. So this would be positive, positive. This would be positive and negative. Yeah. So if that's negative, that's negative. That's positive. Yeah. It's in here. If you can work that out, you might want to consider moving beyond step 1 to begin. If you need to go back and review and have a think about the basic skills, do that and then come back to step 1. So have a go at questions 1 and 2 on the worksheet. Pause here for step 1 questions. The questions and the marking station are available on Dojo. And do remember to check the answers to question 1 and 2 before moving on, because you want to make sure that you've been successful, or if you haven't, that you know why, before moving on to some of the later questions. If you're carrying on with me, or you've paused to have a go at step 1 and then you're rejoining, great to see you. Let's have a think. So you have a grid, a coordinates grid. You can draw that in your book, and you're being asked to plot 4 points. Have a go. So there's a point in every quadrant. Do you remember what this is called? This diagram? Yeah, that's right. It's called a Carroll diagram. So this point here, we're looking at the x coordinate is negative and the y coordinate is positive. In this one here, we've got x coordinate is positive and the y coordinate is positive. And then in this box here, we'd be up here. So x is negative, y is negative. And here we've got this one. So x is positive, y is negative. Have a go. Before moving on in the video, have a think in your own mind or by working in your study group. How would you label the other quadrants? Now, I think if I was learning this for the first time, I might take a picture or a screenshot of that, because that's particularly helpful, I think, as a little aid memoir, something to refer to as you're working through the activities. So have a go. This time the X and the Y they're not labelled with the numbers. Where would this go? Positive, positive. Positive, negative. Negative, positive. Negative, negative. So we have an isosceles triangle. What do we know about isosceles triangles? Well, these marks are telling us that these sides are of equal length. So we know it's a triangle. 3 points, 3 sides. What would be the missing coordinates of this vertex? Pause the video, have a think. Just go back there. What was that telling us? So we've got X and Y. X and Y. So we're moving up and down this axis. This is definitely on a different point on the X. As you go up and down, there's some similarity there, isn't there? Yeah. What this is saying is from this midpoint here, we're going across 4. And if this is a line of symmetry, what do you think this is going to be? Could it be 4? Have a go at the rest of the questions on the worksheet. Continue here after step 1 and try any 2 questions. I'm really mindful that there's some people who are starting at 1 are doing quite a lot of questions, and on some days that's quite reasonable because there aren't many questions and they're quite quick. But today, if you've already done step 1, you've done a couple of questions, so do a couple more of your choice. If you didn't do step 1, after the explore, start here and complete all of the questions. You would have done the same number of questions. And the same applies. Please check the marking station. You want to make sure that you're being successful before you move on. And if you're not, working out why that is. Good luck with that, Year 6. Take care.